Ryan Quick here with the American Grappling Federation. This is my student Kelly. We are going to go over something, one of the techniques I just filmed for BJJ Fanatics, and it's a really big part of my game in the tilt sweep game. It's what I call it. Some schools call it the John Wayne sweep. It's from half guard, off balancing, Kozushi, using those principles. But the main thing is this: I need to understand the switch. So to really break it down, I'll have myself in a super loose half guard, and he'll have his arm lazily over here. It's really big in the wrestling game. I'm not a wrestler. I learned this from wrestlers, and it leads to the back. In my opinion, the back is king. So I took this wrestling technique and added it into my jiu-jitsu game. All right, so I'm in half guard, in lazy half guard, his hand's over here. I'm gonna reach over his arm and underneath his leg. You see that? Come over here for a detail, and I'm reaching like this. Okay, now this really works when I start to apply shoulder pressure. I can't quite do this yet. I need to apply shoulder pressure, so I'll lay back on Kelly, right? I'll lay back on him like this. This allows me to throw my hook. This allows his arm to become a little bit limp. I can hip escape out and take his back. When he builds his base, I'm up before him and I can attack his back. Let's go again. So for example, we're sitting here nice and loose. Okay, I don't even have to have full half guard yet. I could be out here. I just want you to understand this. I reach around and under. Now I can concentrate on his wrist. Sometimes if he's really trying to grab me, you can try to push his wrist that way. And it's easier than you think. The other thing that you can do is just by simply hip escaping. If Kelly, you want to try and body lock me, right? So say he's trying to connect his hands here. By me planting, turning my butt out and hip escaping, it helps to break his grip. You see that? So that's really important. You can assist yourself now by pulling back. This puts his face in the dirt, allows me to throw a hook. You don't want him to backstep or anything. But then I'll use my leg as momentum to help me sit up, right? This is a faster sit up than me going and trying to chase his back. So I come up and I grab his hip and then I chase all the way up to the back, whether it's lapels, double unders, seatbelt. This is gi, no gi, it doesn't matter. I also show this from full guard, so you guys can understand this from full guard. So like if I were here and I were to sit up and bump him, throw my arm to the inside, start hip escaping, I can do it from full guard too. I'll show that, stay there with the camera, I'll show that again. So turn. All right, so like if I were to sit up and bump and stick my arm in, it gets me to it. All right, so now what we're actually talking about is the technique of the day. And we're in half guard, and I have my foot down and my knee up. If Kelly drives towards me, I can off balance him by tilting him over. If I had his arm, he could put his arm out. I'd tilt him all the way over and come up for sweeps. But in this case, he has his arm, all right, that he can post on. Maybe I'm blocking or whatnot, and I'm here, and he's not quite giving me the underhook, and so that I can tilt by pushing his leg, my leg, having my knee in still, having my knee in this way. But in this case, I need you to realize that if my leg is underneath, he comes towards me, nothing happens. My knee is down on the ground over here, and up in his hip over here, he comes towards me, he gets hip swept. So that hand plant is what I want. The other thing I want to remind you of is I can lengthen the time that his hand is on the mat. When he drives in, I'll keep pushing it. Take your hand off the mat, Kelly. Right, he's gonna have to concede the sweep. My right knee right now, guys, is pushing. My right foot is on the ground, not allowed, like, watch this, sprawl out, Kelly. Boom, I lost that half guard control, right? Come back. So I'm here, he posts, he can't sprawl out, and he's committed to this weight. You can kimura this, you can guillotine this, or you can sit out and take his back. I'm telling you, it's a moment in time, and that's what we really need in grappling and in the fight game, is the moment in times to be on our side so we can be offensive, right? Again, I'm here, I'm defending, he's too close to me, I tilt him, I reach over, hip escape away, come back up, I'm on his back. So that's how to use the wrestler switch. Pardon the new gi, I'm testing out a new gi, so not washed yet. That's how I use the wrestler switch in my jiu-jitsu game.